The Meanwood Valley Trail is known as the Green Artery of Leeds, a city in Yorkshire and one of the top 10 most populated cities in the UK. The trail is 7 miles long, starting in the outskirts of the city centre before navigating through parks, woodlands and trails before finishing in Golden Acre Park. The proximity to Leeds makes it an accessible post-work hike to explore the greenery that Leeds has to offer. In this hike we set off at nearly 7 p.m. with an ambitious goal of catching the last bus home.
So this is a word that if you're not from Yorkshire you might not know. So I'm from the south, and one of the things in meeting Leanne was I learnt loads of new words. And ginnels is a very Yorkshire word, so ginnel also means snicket. So hopefully you know what a ginnel or a snicket is. And if you don't know what it is, it's basically an alleyway. One of the really cool things about the trail, I think if you come maybe April, May time, there's loads and loads and loads of wild garlic everywhere. So we're in the middle of June now, so it's very much over with. Unfortunately I missed it this season, otherwise I'd be making garlic pesto. But yeah, it looked very sparse, and here it is.
After Rima's language lesson earlier, you'll know what I mean when I say there's lots of bits on this trail where you're just sort of walking through snickety type bits. So we're just on hard mud surface paths, and yeah, going through all the trees and the overgrown flowers and nettles because it's a wild garden. And what were you saying?
Just saying, one of my favourite things about this trail is because it goes right through the city. You've got all the graffiti, you know, from the student area, and at the same time all the music going from them. You can hear buses, cars, but then sometimes you can hear the sound of a stream. So yeah, right, it's very audio centric, I suppose.
Yeah, and super accessible with it being from just outside the centre of Leeds. So we've driven, but I guess you could get public transport here as well.
Yeah.
But this bit's really cool because you basically walk down a snicket between all the houses where they've got split gardens. I guess because they go straight onto the water side. But
there's some raspberry. Cool thing about going nearby to people's gardens through the snicket or ginnel, you get to see the people's fruit. So we've got some raspberries here. Maybe we'll spot some other things.
This area I never understand because weirdly, in the middle of the city, there's sand. So I know it's just another snicket and we're probably all out of snicket excitement, but I really like this bit just before you get to Meanwood Park because you basically walk through the middle of all the allotments, Sometimes you get to see some hens, you get to see some cool plants being grown, and Rima just got to see, well, we saw a foal.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a foal that small in real life actually. Very exciting. Very cool thing about this allotment, Holly and Lane, they have this hedge veg box. I'm trying to figure out what this is. It smells a little bit like onion, so I'm wondering if someone has decided to snap off these seeding onions or spring onions. Not sure. But there's a whole basket of those. I don't need them, so I'm going to put it back. But very cool idea.
Just got into Meanwood Park and we've realised we're definitely not getting the last bus back, so we thought we'd get an ice cream, but it's all closed. Sad times. So get here earlier than 10 to 8. We're at the bit where you can enter the Hollies, which is where that sign is, and just to be aware, even super dry hot days like we've had recently, it's always muddy here. It seems like some bits they've put boards on, but yeah, don't wear your white clothes. Just to make sure I don't confuse anyone, you do not follow the sign for the Hollies, you just carry on, but it's just like a way marker of where it gets really muddy and kind of feels a bit jungly.
Or if you like dinosaurs, maybe it feels like being in Jurassic Park and there's going to be a dinosaur over there. Maybe not.
So we're just coming to the end of Meanwood Park now, all the way up at the top. You enter down the bottom near the car park, and this is where the ice cream shop was not open. So yeah, you come along, this is a big open bit, it's very very busy, lots of people, lots of dog walkers. Once you cross over this river and you're on this side, it gets much quieter. It's quite nice and cool as well, so this is where I was saying it feels kind of jungly. Once you leave Meanwood Park, you have a short section where the path is parallel to the main road. Once you're through the tunnel though, you start to leave the road noise and return to the sounds of nature. So green is for the Meanwood Valley Trail, and then the dark one is for Meanwood Valley Circular, which is, as it sounds, it's a loop, it goes back to the start, whereas Meanwood Valley Trail is a point to point, it's linear, which is why we talked about getting the bus back. And yeah, Meanwood Valley Circular, it splits off at some point up ahead. So here's the split. You can see the Meanwood Valley Circular on that post to go down there, and the Meanwood Valley Trail is on that post to go up there. Got to the point now where we're at. I think it's Adel Woods or Adel Woods, also called Scotland Woods, or maybe there's two right next to each other, I'm not sure. you get lots of these really old, I think the beech trees, just super quiet now. The only people you see, very occasional trail runner with a dog, and people on bikes. So yeah, it's just a bit more rough I think around here. Lots of rocks and undulating paths and like steps and stuff, stone steps. But apart from me prattling on, all you can hear are all the birds. I feel like I'm on a little trail hunting mountain bikes, and I've spotted their tracks. These were from pedals and like the bottom of a bike hitting the stones. But we are coming up to, at the end of the woods, there's actually like a big dirt jump area. I'm not sure that it's official. Look at this. But yeah, always see groups of people hanging out, doing stuff that I don't do on a mountain bike. Erin has spent the past mile or so carrying this log, burying it, then or very poorly attempting to bury it. Then she grabs it again and then continues with it on her walk. On to the next spot. I think one thing that's quite cool is I've walked through here several times now, and because we're coming into, well, it's June, we're pretty much in summer. These are so tall, nearly as tall as me, whereas I've been through and there's no vegetation, you can just see straight through. I realise that that's how nature works, but it's just quite cool to see it change through the seasons. Okay. Cheers. So yeah, this is Edelwoods. You can actually see the full trail on here. So we've parked down here. This is where the statue was. Walked the road bit to get into Woodhouse Ridge. Went through the different snickets and roads to get there, and then all the way through Meanwood Park. And yeah, you cross the road. Cross the road here. Come down that through the tunnel. So that was the dark tunnel, and then just walk all the way through the woods. We're now here, so top of Ada Woods. There's Scotland Wood, so it is two separate woods. And there's some picnic benches and a bit of parking, and then over here is where the mountain bike like dirt jumps are. So we'll walk through that, and then this really horrible bit where you're walking on the side of a 40-mile-an-hour main road and there's no pavement, and then when you cross over and go into Golden Acre Park, and you just kind of go all the way to the end to the car park, and that's where you finish. And this is where we were hoping to get a bus to, but I think we might be missing the last one. So anyway, we've got like 15-20 minutes. I don't know if we're going to make it, especially when Erin keeps carrying bigger and bigger sticks and I keep filming. So let's go. We have to accept now we're not making this last bus.
It's in 2 minutes and at least a kilometre away probably.
Yeah. And behind us though, that's where you can go to Echo Reservoir, which you can add on as a loop to this if you really want. We're going to walk this last kilometre to the park, go through the park. Rimmer's going to get a taxi, unless they'll let Erin in, and go get the car and bring it up. That's it, that's the last marker. We just go through that bridge now and you're in the car park for Golden Acre Park. We missed the bus, but Uber has added a pet setting, so we're now waiting for our Uber with Erin.
Shadow, say bye.
Bye.